Lazarus, aka Cowboy Bebop's cooler dystopian cousin that does parkour through an apocalypse for some reason. The premiere kicks off with a visual banger, a kaleidoscope of surreal creatures and haunting landscapes that feel more fever dream than future. It's 2052, not too far from now, yet it feels like a distant planet, like someone pressed fast forward on Earth and added jazz. And what's at the center of this sci-fi gospel, you asked? You asked. I know you did. Don't deny it. You asked, I'm not fucking. A modern messiah, Dr. Skinner, part genius, part black father, cause he went go. He gifts the world Hapna, a miracle painkiller that doesn't just treat suffering, it erases it, a pharmaceutical holy grail. Humanity rejoices, hope is restored, cue the angelic chorus. But plot twist, 3 years later the good doctor reappears looking more cultly than Savior and drops a bombshell. Hapna wasn't salvation, it was fentanyl. Every person who took it is now a walking time bomb set to expire in 30 days. Naturally, society does what it does best, spiral into chaos. Some people turn to God, others take the French route and take destiny by the reins. And some, well, they wait to see what everyone else does because thinking is hard. Civilization starts cracking and from the rubble emerges a ragtag crew of rebels, outlaws, and stylish misfits. Misfit, fuck you. Team Lazarus, their mission, find Skinner, stop the clock, and of course, look cool doing it. That was fucking cringe. The episode doesn't waste any time holding your hand. There's barely any exposition. Instead, it launches you into kinetic chaos, parkour, gunfire, and existential dread, all set to buttery smooth jazz. It's like a classy shootout. The animation is absolutely amazing. The character designs are cool, simple, and diverse. It's about time we got some good representation around this bitch. Y'all think we forgot? Nah, we ain't forgot.
You serious?
Face card on 10, nigga. And on top of that, the world building is like a buffet of neon and speculative tech that keeps your eyes wandering across the screen. And of course, there's a trigger happy blonde with thighs like a strangle or rhino to keep you focused. 8 out of 10. Easy. Episode 2 is parts thriller, existential crisis, and what the hell is happening energy. It builds lore without dumping exposition, reveals character depth without begging for sympathy, and continues the stylish doom spiral with unapologetic flair. If Misery had good lighting and a soundtrack, it would look a lot like this. As the series continues, I love the subtle yet deep undertones the show tackles. The hive mind-like mentality society faces, transgenders, poverty, abuse of power and status, jealousy, the stock market. This is one of those shows that you can enjoy on different levels of thinking. For one, it's flashy, it's fun, the storyline is simple, but when you take a closer look, it's a perfect reflection of the world we're currently creating. The first 5 episodes of Lazarus charge forward with tunnel vision worthy of a missile. Locked onto the elusive Dr. Skinner, techno-messiah, and all-purpose antagonist, our world-weary strike team faces a buffet of obstacles along the way. Unhinged womanizers with too much cologne and too little morality, mafia car chases that blur into ballet, and one particularly absurd helicopter pursuit on foot. Yes, on foot, which defies physics, logics, and probably union regulations, but Axel is him. Gravity bends for this nigga. By episode 6, the plot mercifully widens its lens. Instead of chasing Skinner like a morally righteous Scooby Gang, we take a detour into backstory, emotional bonding, and the spiritual rot at the center of this tech-fueled devotion. Here we meet Elena's past, raised in a fate-based operating system, otherwise known as a techno-theocracy. She returns to the AI-worshipping cult that programmed her childhood. Leland tags along as the designated minor because, as it turns out, most cults have a strict no grown-ups policy for indoctrination for some reason. Reuniting with her old friend turned gatekeeper Hannah and her disturbingly worshipful mother, Elena and Leland masquerade as believers in hopes of hacking into the cult's digital deity, Naga. Very, very close to a glorified operating system speaking in Skinner's voice, like ChatGPT if it hated you. Of course, their cover is quickly blown. Their punishment? Public incineration, hosted naturally by Elena's parents, with glee, may I add, because like, why are you so happy that your daughter is about to be incinerated? Like, what is wrong with you? And just as the flames lick the edges of her faith, the Lazarus crew storms in Axel style, bullets, drones, and the aforementioned snitch. My bad. Switching sides like it's a paid subscription. I'm keeping that in, bro. Fuck that. With episode 6, we finally dive beneath the neon silk action to glimpse character depth through Elena, who cements her title as best girl, not by surviving fire, but by showing she's already lived through something much colder. And yes, she is best girl. Talk your shit! Episode 7 slows its roll. Gone are the skyscraper dives and hyper choreographed punch-ups. Instead, we're treated to a moody, contemplative detour into the mind of Skinner, the show's elusive enigma in residence. As the crew trades combat boots for detective caps, they follow the breadcrumbs he's left behind, and more walk a mile in his morally ambiguous shoes. Surprisingly, what they find isn't a monster, but a man with reasons, a man with a past. And suddenly, empathy seeps in. Skinner's motives start to make a disturbing kind of sense, promoting the crew and us to question who the real enemy might be. Episode 8 gives us another momentary pause from chasing cyber doomsday to unwrap a character backstory. And what a delicately wrapped trauma bomb it is. This time the spotlight is on Christine, who, as it turns out, is a war veteran for Russia. I guess you could say she's a ass assassin. I'ma kill myself. Also, she's gay. Can you just me down? Damn it. As Christine is kidnapped by remnants of her old life, specifically an ex-girlfriend turned vengeful handler named Inga. I don't know, and your haircut is stupid, and I don't like you. Anyways, the team is forced to do what they do best, break several laws in several jurisdictions to save one of their own. Axel once again casually denying gravity, Doug head tapping shit, which by the way, goddamn nigga, Elena being best girl, and Leland find Jones with adolescent glee. We're just happy to be here. The mission, explosively successful, the emotional fallout, considerably miserable. And once again, that haircut is ass. Episode 9, Death on Two Legs. An alluring title letting us know off rip, niggas is turning up. We're introduced to this mystery man enjoying his steak in a very oddly and disturbingly detailed fashion, ranting about his protein intake like a broccoli head 2 days into the gym trying to PR 225 with 10 of his homies. Fuck you, go home. Shortly followed by another eerie scene of him walking down a street surrounded by carnage, chaos, death, and he seems completely unfazed. I suppose it's an innuendo for niggas is about to turn up. Transitioning back to the crew, they have some explaining to do. Tough questioning, but Leland comes through, defends the team integrity, and avoids being the mole the crew had prior suspicions on. Just when the committee threatens to pull the plug, Dr. Skinner dramatically steps onto the scene via video and announces that the first victim of the Hapner fallout will be none other than himself. You serious? Unless found in 10 days. We cut back to the ominous protein steak guy again, and he reveals himself as HQ, the agent negotiating on behalf of the silent string wielding assassin Soryu. A nigga, show me your worth, this 30 mil trials ensues, and boy, let me tell you, remember when I said shit was about to turn up? It turned up. What proceeded to happen was one of the most beautiful one-sided massacres I've seen since Madara ran through them niggas. Allow me to elaborate. Enter Soryu, the embodiment of a silent menace, with no talking, no hiding, just straight up smoke. This nigga had a metronome clock in the background to give ambiance to his own fade. He must think he's Jeff Hardy or some shit, what the fuck? Now, the special forces pull up looking like they're auditioning for Call of Duty 12. Confidence dripping off their vests, goggles, fogged with self-importance, but what they don't realize is they've just wandered onto his stage. He ain't even fighting them, bro. He's orchestrating this shit. Every scream hidden on beat, bodies dropping on rhythm. It looks like an art museum you pay your life for to enter. I know Axel is him, but I don't know, man. This nigga is death. Like, straight up. Honestly, I don't know who on the team can even run the fade with this nigga, bro. He not human, dog. Episode 10 gives us another look onto one of our core members of the crew, Sir Leland, who apparently is like really rich. I swear, it's no one's in the hood trying to make it out and no one's out trying to make it in. Like, why are you gang affiliated with 10 M's to your name? Yeah, fair play. The world's running a fever thanks to Hapner, but Leland's busy taking Axel and Doug to his family's gutted estate for intel. His sister Isabella serves him a verbal slap for disappearing 4 years ago, but coughs up a lead. Dr. Skin is rocking an artificial heart with encrypted firmware. We now enter Dr. Millie, who breaks every privacy law to hand it over to a group of random vigilantes she's never met before. I feel like that's pretty accurate to our world. Anyways, the trail points to Pakistan's very own popcorn wizard. So Elena and Doug packed their espionage passports. Meanwhile, Axel learned he survived secret Hapner trials that killed everyone else, making him the prize target for incoming assassin Soryu, aka Death. Pray for that nigga, bro. Coming close to the end, we get hit with episode 11, Running with the Devil. A quick recap. Doug and Elaine are running a two-man mission to track down the hacker linked to Skinner. Goes by the name Popcorn. Somewhere in Pakistan. Meanwhile, Axel's out here being hunted by a walking murder machine, and Christine and Leland are holding things down at base with the head of operations. The problem is, in sum, basically the ops sends military after Doug and Elaine. And that's when her, whose name I forgot, pulled up to the big dogs to stop that, but she got detained, which was technically according to her plan. The bro thinks she eyes or something. On their way to Pakistan, our ever alert Doug realizes they're being tailed. Being the noble G he is, Doug plays bait so Elaine, who's starting to show symptoms of Hapner, can keep pushing forward to complete the mission. Respect. My nigga, I'm glad I could say that. Meanwhile, back to our gravity-defying, aura-forming, sexy, charismatic, electrifying MC Axel. That nigga is fighting for his life. They got bro dodging grenades every 10 seconds. Like, Jesus Christ, aren't assassins supposed to be stealthy? This nigga out here moving like a full-blown terrorist. The fight though, insanely choreographed, parkour, blades, trauma, everything you want. We finally get the highly anticipated face-off between Axel and Soryu. And listen, it was good, but I gotta go on a quick rant. The Soryu problem. The fight's solid, don't get me wrong, but compared to his intro, they nerfed him heavily. Man went from a calm, composed, inhumane killer, flash stepping and snatching souls, to basically fighting even with Axel. Which, yeah, Axel is nice, but come on, bruh. I've seen Duke Dennis do half the moves this nigga just pulled. And then Soryu, the proclaimed cold-blooded assassin, gets distracted by a necklace and has Azula levels of PTSD and fumbles the whole fight. Let's be for real. And once again, he's an assassin. Why does he have a pocket full of bombs? What happened to the strings and knives and shit, bro? He was popping off with that. Nigga just said fuck that and just started throwing fucking dukes at this nigga, bro. Still, it's a really good fight, and I get it. They had to scale him down or Axel would have been straight cooked. So plot armor saves the day again. The end game. Christine rolls up guns blazing to drag Axel out of the fire. Elaine meets Popcorn Wizard, the hacker girl, but collapses from Hapner, and Doug probably somewhere strapped to a chair dealing with some medieval level torture, or knowing this show some alien anal probing. I'm sorry, Doug. Things are finally wrapping up, and with only 2 episodes left and so many secrets not revealed and many loose ends not being clipped, I feared for the worst. A rushed ending, a nosedive into mediocrity. I thought it was GG's, not gonna lie. But then I remembered that this is written by that guy, which if it still isn't obvious, Lazarus is written by the creator of Cowboy Bebop. The one who already taught us how to make jazz, gunfights, and existential dread into high art, which is why they share so many similarities. Anyways, the point is he hasn't missed in the past, and he damn sure didn't miss here either. Now, Axel, courtesy of plot armor, manages to break the donut curse after being kebabbed by a spear sponsored by your local assassin. Like, how are you alive? This nigga needs to be nerfed, bro. Next to him, Christine, of course, looking equal parts nurse and mother. You know, about that gate thing, I think I could persuade you, if you know what I mean. I'ma kill my. Meanwhile, Doug and Elaine are clawing their way back from their own near-dead conditions. A nice little parallel that I definitely caught the first time and totally didn't just realize now. Yeah, I'm stupid. And back to Axel and Christine, they're having an emotional bonding moment.
It should have been me, not him!
Doug's out here playing dead in a hospital, being monitored by the very people who kidnapped him, which honestly is kind of counterproductive because they plan to kill him later, but for now, here's a comfy bed and an IV drip. Like, what is the logic? You know what? At least bro ain't getting his booty hole touched. Popcorn Wizard finally drops an actual lead on Skinner's location after 12 episodes. Like, goddamn. The head of operations, Abel, visits the president of his organization, who is on her last breath due to Hapner. And not to go on a long tangent, but I really love the subtle messages Lazarus scatters through the show. like I said in the beginning, and this is one of them. Everyone and their mother is on Hapna, literally, and it goes to show even the highest members of society are still at the mercy of their greed and desires, so much so that they'll throw away worldly fortune for 1 second of pleasure, just like the man who has absolutely boring. But anyways, back on topic. She's withering away, almost completely consumed by the symptoms of Hapna, but bald nigga makes a final request to give permission to, long story short, slime this nigga out, and believe me, he needs to go. While all this is going on, the black dude who was on his side felt like he was going too far, behaving too sporadically, risking everything to come crashing down. But old boy wasn't going for none of that. Slammed his ass out immediately and framed him. On the other end, Doug's being aided by Elaine and Popcorn Wizard via hacked hospital bed. Christine's back at base with the rest of the team making a crazy discovery. You know HQ, the guy that's supposed to be Soryu's manager? Well, they're the same person. A quick breakdown, HQ has PTSD and schizophrenia, and as a result of those two delicious mental disorders combining, we get a homicidal murderous maniac. And that basically sums up episode 11. So much unpacked, but so elegantly. Is it unpacked or unpacked? I'm retarded. With all secrets uncovered and ends clipped, everyone moves into motion. Doug and Elaine reunite en route to Skinner's location. Axel checked out early to go get his get back on Soryu, and Abel is on his way to slam out his op. And the clock is ticking. The final episode, the final dance between Axel and Soryu takes place on a rooftop. The two are both not fully recovered from their last battle, and you can see it in this fight. Stumbling, not as sharp, not as precise or powerful, but this time they fight with more of a purpose, understanding. The team uncovers Soryu's tragic upbringing, discovering the Hundun program, a school for young assassins. Psychological control, desensitization, and the art of taking lives are all classes these children are supposed to endure, which of course left them scarred. And one day, one of those children snapped and murdered all his peers, and that child was Soryu. Hundun, the faceless mythical beast he raved over, represents a being of primordial chaos, known for his 6 feet, 4 wings, and featureless face, translated as muddled confusion. His lack of eyes, nose, and mouth serve to highlight the directionless confusion of the chaos that he personifies. What does that mean? I don't fucking know, but they boxing. During the fade, a army helicopter interrupts a fight between the two, but Soryu, who is an assassin, mind you, pulls out whatever the fuck this shit is and blows that shit to smithereens, causing it to collapse into the building, making them both fall, resulting in Axel once again being God's favorite and Soryu not so much. Abel finally wraps things up on his end, detaining this dude, and all that's left to do is meet up with Doug and Elaine at Skinner's location. On the way there, they learned an accident in the airport with Skinner and a suitcase carrying a harmful chemical was exploded, and the gas leaked out, affecting the nearby citizens, resulting in death. However, a handful of them survived and gained immunity to Hapna, and those people were, you guessed it, probably not because you're dumb. Team Lazarus. They find Skinner at the homeless shelter place, and the team, including Hirsch, have a long, heartfelt discussion about the world, society, blah 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 blah, and scene. Now, my ending thoughts. As of the time of this video being made, a lot of people seem to really shit on this show, and to be honest, I get it. The ending was a bit rushed, and the attention to detail they had in the earlier episodes flew through the window, and many characters have barely been touched. We don't know much about Christine, Doug, or Axel's backstory for that matter, and Skinner, the main antagonist of the story, only had like 3 minutes of screen time in which not much of his personality could be shown. So I get it, but I still think it's a pretty good show. Overall, Lazarus has many misses, but I still give it a 7.5 out of 10. A good watch, very introspective, and Christine is hot. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will post soon. I promise, bro. I swear to God, bro, I promise.